Hello, and thanks for making the time to watch this video. My name is Shia Nafti, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce the RAD platform. This is an initiative we created to help those of you who may be looking for inspiration from the point of view of professional development. We've actually looked at this in multiple dimensions. For example, if you are a practitioner that's looking for a much more effective way of gaining certification or preparing for certification, we've taken 7 of the Google Cloud certification programs. These are the platform engineering certification programs. We're going to add the data engineering and AI programs to the mix. So we've taken this as the foundation, and we have mapped these certification programs to real world solutions. So in here, you can see a nice infographics that introduces the key concepts that are important for each of these certifications. And within each of these sections, we have clearly articulated how the requirements of the certification program can be experienced in a set of modules that have been fully automated for deployment on the Google Cloud Platform. So there are a number of sections which you can see here. The foundation services section is the base. And so within the foundation services section, we have services GCP that provides the baseline for all of the deployments. So that provides support for multi-tenancy. So for example, in a single GCP project, you can deploy over 100 solutions. Obviously, most of those will be scaled down to 0, but you can have a lot of solutions deployed within a single environment, and you can activate each of those as and when needed in order to support your learning experience. So the foundation for that is a platform that demonstrates the deployment of applications on a serverless platform. We also have a foundation for Google Kubernetes Engine, and there is a module that captures elements of the configuration that's common to both of those. Each of these modules is then used as the foundation for implementing more than 350 industry solutions. And you can expect that we're going to have even more of those. So, for example, if you expand the anything LLM industry solution, you can see we've got documentation for the Cloud Run implementation, the GKE, as well as the implementation of common services that apply across GKE and Cloud Run. In addition to these documentation, we have the labs. These are practical hands-on exercises that take you through the process of deploying and learning from the deployment of these solutions. So if you look at the right, you actually have here the different phases of deployment. Some of these are fully automated, some are manual, but you can see very clearly what the objective of each of these phases are. The whole idea here is to expose you to enterprise IT concepts that typically come up in an interview situation. So one of the benefits of using the RAD platform is that in addition to enabling you to not just gain one certification, but a whole set of certifications, because everything builds on the same common set of modules, you, by virtue of deploying any of these solutions, you've got a story to tell. You can talk about your enterprise IT knowledge by making reference to instances where you've deployed, for example, Ghost or Directors for an enterprise customer. When you click on any one of these modules, for example, this one here, at the very top, it has a description of what the module offers, so you can make a decision as to whether or not this is the right one for you. We also have here a knowledge base where you can ask questions, and the system will provide a response and guide you through the process of selecting the right module for your use case. We also have design principles. So there is a reference here to platform capabilities. We also have another document that speaks to engineering practices such as SRE, DevOps, FinOps, etc. And also engineering excellence like cost optimization, developer productivity, the likes of continuous integration, continuous delivery, etc. But to experience this, right, in an efficient manner, we've created a portal that you can use for automated deployment. And there is a documentation for different stakeholders. So, for example, we have a document here that enables an end user to be able to use the deployment portal. We have partnerships with tech entrepreneurs who are developing these modules. And so we help drive adoption of their solutions by publishing it within the catalog, and there's a revenue share model for that. We have industry practitioners that we work with who help us with um, developing or driving adoption from a sales and marketing point of view. And we do have an agent program where obviously there's a revenue share as well. And there are other roles like financial management, administration support, and all of the guides are highlighted there. Now, the reason we have these sort of internal guides is because we do have customers that use this internally. This is a public facing version of the platform, but we do have scenarios where enterprise organizations are using this within their private network to kind of improve the experience, mostly around training. This is the console. So to access the provisioning portal, you can click on this option here. So this brings up portal. I'm currently logged in. I can log out, so I can basically take you through the experience. So there is a video that kind of introduces you to the platform. If you're new to the platform and you want to get started really quickly, I strongly encourage you to check out Knowledge Base. Through this chat interface, you can ask questions. For example, this is a question where someone's trying to figure out how to integrate Gmail to their CRM system, and you can see the system identifies the modules that would be relevant and explains how the integration might work. We have here another question that has to do with a specific module. What is Open EMR? That's an electronic medical record system, and the platform explains the features and capabilities of Open EMR, including how it's implemented on the platform. This particular question speaks to how a particular module can benefit, can be of value in a specific context, and so it explains that. And this one is on how can I make money from the platform. Remember, we talked about partners and agents, and this also breaks it down. So this is an expansive database that knows how the platform works and is able to give you the responses or answer the questions that you have. So check it out. Very useful resource. Now, at the moment, we have 353 modules. You can expect we're going to have more modules on the platform. There is a video that introduces the platform capabilities. Check it out. Very short. Most of the videos are just about a minute long. This is a minute 20. You have here information that's designed to help you get started. If you're a deployer, a partner, or an agent, if you click on this, it takes you right here to this section, transparent pricing. So one of the things we've done is we've done our best to make this accessible. And for those of you in the African continent, we've got integration with Flutterwave that allows you to use local payment cards like debit cards. You can pay, for example, in Naira. We get funds are remitted to us in dollars, and through the partnership we have with Flutterwave. You also notice that we've done our best to make the pricing accessible. So these are very complex deployments, but we've tried to keep the price to a minimum. There is a cost that needs to be taken into account. That's the cost of using the Google Cloud Platform. And unfortunately, that has to be somehow accounted for. We also have the cost of performing the deployment in terms of running the modules that result in the application being configured. And so the amount you pay depends on the module cost, if applicable. And obviously, there's a runtime cost as well, which depends on how long it takes. There's something we've done, which is we don't charge you if a deployment fails. If a deployment fails, there's no module charge. However, there will be a cost to do with the consumption of CPU and memory, the use of cloud resources as part of that failed deployment execution, which will be minimal simply because that needs to be taken in. If you're having challenges deploying any of these modules and need help, we're looking at partnering with professionals within the local markets where we operate in order to create opportunities for technical entrepreneurs so they can help implement these solutions for you and thereby earn some revenue. So we're trying to create job opportunities as well as part of taking this to market. It's not just about impacting knowledge, it's also about creating a sustainable ecosystem that fosters entrepreneurship. Now, this is where this piece comes up, right, or becomes relevant. So if you're a model or if you're a tech entrepreneur, we are encouraging to create solutions that can be packaged and included in the catalog. And if you do that, there is a revenue share. And obviously, beyond this revenue share, you also have other ways of generating revenue, licensing your product, providing technical support, providing training around your product. So what we're actually offering here is access to new markets, access to new clients. And then we obviously have a partnership as well, which I mentioned earlier, with sales agents who basically act as referral agents. And so you can see what the revenue could look like depending on the number of referrals that you make. Right. So keen to work with any of you that's interested in supporting us on this journey. So let me show you how the platform works. So to access the platform, all you need to do is log in to the platform. Once you log in, you navigate to this section where you can see the deploy tab, where you can see the modules. Select whatever module you're interested in deploying. And then you need a project, a Google Cloud project. So once you've created your Google Cloud project, you specify your Google Cloud project ID. So assuming that's your project ID, you specify that. Select your region, the region where you want your module to be deployed. That's still loading. Pick whatever makes sense. And then these options are advanced options, right? So we offer credits, and credits are available to you to use when you sign in. So when you sign in, you get a certain number of credits every month. You also get a certain number of credits awarded to you to encourage you to keep coming back and using the platform. However, if you want to access these advanced options, you have to top up. The reason being that these advanced options take time to develop and maintain. They also take time to execute, right? So we are doing our best to encourage everyone to have the ability to use the platform. But for those who get the most value from it, we're asking for something in return, right? So hopefully, and the pricing has been set to accommodate the level of affordability across multiple regions around the world. So that's all it takes. Once you've selected the option that you're interested in, you hit submit. There are a couple of things that are important. The first thing is there is a services GCP module that must be provisioned first. This is important. This is what enables the platform to be multi-tenanted. A single GCP project can support in excess of 300 applications. Why? Or basically as many applications as you wish. Obviously, the project itself has a limited amount of resources, CPU and memory, but we can deploy these modules and scale them down to zero. When you scale the modules down to zero, all resources are released, and therefore you can have a lot of applications deployed within a single project and basically just scale up what you need. But doing that requires you to have a multi-tenanted environment, and this significantly reduces costs. A single project can be used for all of your training needs. And in order to perform the deployment, there is a particular service account represented by this email address that needs to be granted ownership of your project. Now, there are specific roles that, if you're concerned about ownership, there are least privilege roles, specific roles that you can assign. But obviously, they'll be tricky, right? Given that there are so many different applications. So the easiest option is to grant ownership and, if necessary, revoke those privileges when you're done. So you enter the confirmation code. And once you've entered the confirmation code, you hit confirm. And basically, that's it. Now, this particular project ID is not valid, so this deployment will fail. But you can see once you hit confirm, it gets into the queued state and then kicks off the deployment. At any point in time, you can go back to any of these deployments. You can check it out. You can see what the output parameters were that enables you to access the service once it's deployed. You can have a look at the logs. You can see the build process, how much credit it consumed. If you're done with it, you can delete the module. You can update it. That allows you to update the configuration. What's more to say? That's it. If you need help, you can complete this form, select the type of help you need, the priority. We're going to get back to you. If you recommend this to your friends, we have a reward system. You just need to copy the link, share it with your friends, and the system will reward you for promoting the platform with credits. You can view the return on investment. In other words, the platform tracks the number of deployments. It has an idea of how much time each deployment saves, and it gives you data that you can use to justify or to at least recognize the contribution that the platform has. I did mention that we're supporting users in different parts of the world. So we've got two main subscription options or options for purchasing credits. You can purchase credits using Stripe. Stripe covers obviously the global currencies. So you can see the currencies there. We also have Flutterwave, which enables us to reach out to clients primarily in Africa. So you've got Nigerian Naira, you've got Ghana cedis, you've got France CFA, Rwandan franc, etc., Ugandan shillings, etc. So we're trying our best to make sure no one's left out of this opportunity. And as you perform your deployment, you can obviously view the transaction history. You can search, filter, and basically identify whatever transaction you wish. And click on any of this, and this takes you to the deployment details for that transaction. Now, you may find that some of the deployments have been deleted. If a deployment is deleted, obviously the record would not be on the system. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. So I encourage you to explore the RAD platform, give us your feedback. And if there are any modules that are missing on the platform, let us know what they are. We'll be very happy to add the modules to the platform. Take care. I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please share it with others, and I wish you all success in your professional endeavors. Take care.